Hi there, it's Brenda, and I'm super excited to dig into today's topic, which is, do mobile visitors return to your website? So I'm sharing this information with you, and I'm excited about sharing it with you because you know what? People generally aren't going to engage with the website of any kind, whether it's, a personal website or a business, unless they trust you. So, if you've already heard about a particular business from social media or from a friend or somewhere else, then maybe the first time you come to a website, you'll actually sign up. You'll actually purchase. But those scenarios are not true if you don't have a strong presence somewhere else. If someone just finds you through organic search engine results, then guess what? Chances are they're going to come to your site, they're going to read the article or look at the product, and they'll be on their merry way. The thing that you want in that scenario is you want the opportunity for them to come back and for you to impress them again. So there's a lot that can go into how to do that. But first we got to figure out if you are, already doing that. Maybe your website's in great shape. People come back on a fairly regular basis. So that is what the focus of this training is about. But if you happen to be one of those rare unicorns out there that capture purchases and signups on the first visit, then you can get on with your happy self and come back for our next blog post. In the meantime, the rest of us are going to have a look at our return visitor rate. So I'm going to focus on mobile because it's so heavily used and it's taken over desktop. So it keeps growing, and we just want to really make sure that our mobile side is doing the best it can be. And that's going to be different for every single business and every single space of business, B2B, B2C, and then even within there, of course, there's thousands of variations. But we want to look at your numbers and see if we can improve your numbers over time. So first, we have to know what those numbers are. If your website performs well on desktop and tablet, but you see that your mobile visitors aren't coming back, that's what we're going to look at today. That might clue you in that maybe you need to look at what's happening when people come to your site on mobile and start to think about what could be a better mobile experience for them. So let's look at how to do this. It's really simple. You go to Google Analytics, you log in, and I'm already logged in. And if you have more than one website, you'll need to type your website in over here and get it, and then it'll boot you in. Otherwise, if you only have one website, it probably already sent you here right off the bat. So from there, if audience on your left-hand side is closed, go ahead and open that up. And then scroll down to mobile, and then go to overview. So we're in a familiar place. If you've watched my other videos, we've talked about some things you can look at right here in this really simple space that Google Analytics has set up for us already. Nice and easy. So we see desktop, mobile, and tablet. But we're going to get a little bit deeper today. Unlike the other videos that I've gone through, we're actually going to talk about what these columns mean today. And there's a lot of columns, and we're only going to talk about 3 of them. These 3 relate to each other. They fall under the category of acquisition. So first we're going to talk about percent new sessions. This is the place we want to focus on, and specifically percent new sessions right here. In my case, mobile is second. That's the number that I would look at today, and I would think about, do I want to work to improve this? If so, what can I do? And I will have tips coming up in the future that relate to this. But for now, let me look and let me see if there's anything egregious happening that might might change the way people interact with me. Are there things I can improve? So this is the magic number right here, right? In all this little grid, it's this number in relation to this number and this number. We would like this number to be low, or at least on par with the other 2. And mine is in the middle, which may or may not be good, and it's something that there's some things I think I could do to my mobile already that I'd love to change, and then watch this number. So why do these numbers matter? Okay, so percent new sessions. This tells you the percent of new visits you've had. Since return visits are people who want to get to know your business better or find more your information useful, you want the percent of new sessions to be as low as you can get in relation to total sessions. Okay, now new users, really what new users is it's this number, but it's in an actual number, not in a percent. So the percent is a little easier to process than this. Like, well, what does 711 mean in relation to 761? What does 81 mean in relation to 94? Well, it means 711 in relation to the total number of sessions you've had means that 93.43% of my desktop visitors have only come to my site one time during this particular period. That's what it means. That's kind of a high number. But if you look at my tablet, you know, it is better. I'm getting return visitors, a lot more return visitors here because this number is lower in relation to all of my tablet visitors. Okay? And then mobile is in between the two. So out of the 81 new visits I had to my site during this period of time, 86.17% were new visits, and the rest were return visits. So if we just do the simple math, 13 of these 94 visits were return visits. So if I can get that number lower, then the percentage lower, that means more people are coming back. So, so percent of new sessions is the percentage of people that have come to your site only one time during this period out of all the sessions you've had. Sessions can be thought of as visits. So sessions we can really talk about sessions for a long time, and we're not going to do that. Here's what you need to know. Sessions essentially boils down to how many visits you have had to your website during a certain period of time. That's the basic way of looking at it. And what about if someone's on your site, they leave it open, they walk away, they come back, and it's 2 hours later? Is that all one session? It is not. It will time out after about 30 minutes. If you haven't messed with anything, that's usually the default setting is 30 minutes. So if I come to your site, I look at it and then I walk away, or I get on something else, my email, whatever, and I come back 2 hours later. When I start to interact with your site again, that's another session. So that'd be like a return visit. Or if I come to your site, I look at it, I close it out a day later or even an hour later, I come back and I look at it again. I've closed it out and I come back and I type in your URL. That would be a second session. Okay, so the example being, if our friend Sammy comes to your website one time, she will be recorded in sessions. She will be registered in the percent of new sessions. She will be registered as a new user. Now, when she leaves your site and comes back the next day, she will be recorded as a session. That's it. She will not be a new session. She will not be a new user. So we want the new percent of new sessions to be as low as it can be in relation to how many sessions you have had in total. So to wrap up, we went through one of the many ways in Google Analytics where you can see if your mobile visitors are coming back to your website. I thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope it helps you make better decisions about how to reach and connect with your customers online. And I do have more coming up in the future about how to get the biggest impact out of your mobile website. Until then, take care.